Bob, endowment effect, behavioral economics versus logical, efficient market theory. We're all kind of weird human creatures and make odd decisions, right? So this is a term we're going to attack to find out how we can invest.
We are. But first, I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
Actually, I want to make you a bet.
Okay, sure.
The question is this. I'm going to flip this coin.
Yeah.
And if it comes up heads, you owe me $10,000. Mm-hmm. But if it comes up tails, I'll pay you $15,000.
All right.
So I want you to think about that, and the viewers can think
practice.
About it too.
I'm gonna keep practicing, and while you're talking, I'm gonna wait till it comes up on tails and then tell you
Claim
what I got.
Yeah.
That's the kind of moral high ground we're taking here, Bob Rice. But
all
seriously.
right, so that's our bet. We'll come back to it in just a minute. So endowment effect was discovered by a grad student in the 70s who was an econ guy, and he kept watching his professor who had this interesting habit. He was a big wine collector, and he'd go to auctions and he would buy wines, but he would never pay more than $35 for them. And he would store the wines, and he would never sell them for less than $100. So there was two different prices, the buy price and the sell price. And of course, in efficient market theory, there should have only been one price. So the grad student kind of realized something was up, and he was on to the endowment effect. All
right, now this, as you say, this is the beginning, but now it's actually pretty serious. I mean, it's in textbooks.
Yes, oh, absolutely. It's been done, studies have been done on everything from your beloved chocolate to coffee mugs and pens and all sorts of things that people can own. It turns out that we're willing to pay a certain price, but after we own them for a while, we believe they are more valuable than the amount that they were worth when we bought them or before we owned them. Something about us owning them makes it feel like we have more of a loss when we get rid of them.
Now, prospect theory is something that you and I have discussed before, and this sounds like a very close neighbor.
It's a very close neighbor, and now we're back to our bet. Would you have taken that bet?
No.
No. And the vast majority of people won't take that bet, even though clearly mathematically it has a positive expectancy.
Yeah, you have 50-50 chance, and you have a greater chance of winning more money, or equal chance to win more money.
Right, you can lose 50-50 of losing 10 or gaining 15, but people won't take that. To induce you into that bet, I would have had to offer you maybe 20 or 25,000 instead of just 15.
So how does this play out in the markets?
Well, so what happens is that shows you that we value losses twice as much, more or less, as we value gains.
Sounds like a country western song. The losses hurt us more. No, but it's true.
It is true, and it's why the endowment effect is there, because when we own something, when we go off to get rid of it, we feel like it's a loss, and so we require more to get rid of it than we were willing to pay for it in the first place. It's the flip side of the same coin, so to speak. But so it proves that efficient market theory definitely does not always apply. It certainly applies in some cases, but there are plenty of cases when it doesn't apply, especially in terms of crisis modes, when human emotions get very messy, very intense, and that's when the global macro guys like to come in and play the game.
All right, and of course, maybe another day we'll talk about this theory and how it has affected the housing market, because I'm sure that's a whole course in and of itself.
Big reason the market hasn't cleared.